Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be learning about functions. Functions are reusable blocks of code that perform a specific task. You define them once, and then you can call the function whenever you need that task done. For example, let's say you're coding an elevator. One way you could accomplish this is to write one program for each floor. So floor 1 has a go to floor 1 function, floor 2 has a go to floor 2 function, and so on. However, this could end up reusing a lot of the same code, just with different floor numbers. Instead, we could use a function to make our code more efficient. We can make a go to floor function, which accepts a floor as one of its parameters. The specific floor number would be the argument that's passed into the parameter, and it would cause the function to send the elevator to that floor. Now, how can we actually use this in coding? Let's look. Let's say we want to make a simple program using Scratch's pen tool to draw shapes of various sizes. How might we accomplish this? One way we could do this is by having Scratch draw a square of side length 50, then a square of side length 75, side length 100, and so on. And as you can see, that's what this draw square function does right here. It draws a square of side length 50, then it does one of side length 100, then it does one of side length 150, drawing the three squares. But once one thing you notice about this. It seems very repetitive with a lot of the same move, turn, and wait repeated countless times for drawing each of the squares. Now, what if we did this with a function? Here is a function version of the same line of code where it accepts side length as a parameter and we can pass in different side lengths as arguments. Now we can simply pass in 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, or whatever numbers we want into this function as arguments, and it'll draw the squares. But is there anything you notice about this function? Even it seems really repetitive, with the same move, turn, and wait still repeated, but just repeated less. What if we split this function into two functions, one simply containing this repeated move, turn, and wait piece of code, and another which calls that first function? This is a system called nested functions, where you have the parent function which calls the child function. In this case, our parent function simply just calls the child function 4 times, which draws each of the sides of the square. Using this code, we can very simply draw our square. Now, what might be some applications or benefits of coding our program like this? Well, for one, as long as we only have a drawLine function, we're able to do things like use the same drawLine function in drawing several different shapes, like a triangle, a pentagon, or a rectangle. By simply having this drawLine function, we're able to reuse a lot of code, overall making our code much more efficient. Thank you for watching our tutorial on functions. Good luck with your coding projects.